Hello and welcome to another edition of the SGR Coffee Break. Today, we have a special deal for you. You can augment this podcast. All you got to do, this is great. This is great. All you got to do is send me $100, and that will make it so I will drink every morning. But that's not all. That's not all. If you get some of your friends to send me $100, you see, this is great. So if you tell your friends to just go ahead and send me a couple $100, I'll drink tequila like 3 hours before this pod. That means like I have to start drinking at 7 in the morning. But wait, that's like tier 3. If we go to tier 4, it gets even better. You know, you got some friends. Now you get your parents involved. You can augment this podcast even more. This is great. This is great. I will start drinking Everclear. I'll skip right past it. And so for those of you that may not understand what Everclear is, it is 199 proof. This is just going to decimate it. But that's only tier 4. Tier 5, everybody gets. Everybody can have this. I'll just drink coffee. It's fantastic. Isn't that about how this?
You mean like what we do now?
No, I'm actually drinking water. It's really I didn't want to like try to ice my coffee because that just seems like a lot of freaking effort. So it's just like, I'm drinking some nice water here, staying cool. We're at that like lovely part of the year where it's 1 week it's hoodie weather, the next week you're outside butt naked with your feet in a kiddie pool because you're so hot.
Yeah, you see, it hasn't gotten below 95 yet, so I think we had one day where it went down to 88 and actually felt pretty cool. But yeah. We're not going to be in hoodie weather for a while.
Yeah, well, you live down south, so that's.
Yep, this is part of it.
So, if you haven't quite picked up based off that kick-ass intro, and if somebody does send me $100, I will totally drink 7 in the morning. Just letting you know. No, I won't. I won't. But I'll still take the $100. We're going to talk about this. I had seen some tweets about this, but I didn't really do any research. But we're going to discuss the stupidity, the fuckery, the why the hell does this even have to be a thing? The pre-order, the Augment Your Preorder shit that's going on with the new Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. And, we'll put a link in the post to Carrie's articles that gives a really great breakdown on this. But essentially what Square Enix is doing is they're basically going off of the amount of pre-orders that they get, and it unlocks all these things, right? So at tier 1, you get some fun costumes. At tier 2, it's like an OST and a digital art book. At number 3, you get a mission. At number 4, some digital comics. And at number 5, they're basically going to release the game 4 days early. So if you pre-order that, you can play the game 4 days early. But if you're just like, fuck it, I don't even care, you can get the collector's edition and just get it all. I don't.
Plus more stuff.
I don't get this. Why does this have to be a thing? So they're essentially trying to get. So my question is could you just tell all your friends to go pre-order the game, and then once all the you're interested in it, right? So you tell your friends. So Carrie, you're going to get this game, right? You probably already have.
I've already pre-ordered the collector's edition.
There you go. So like, Carrie doesn't have to worry about it, but let's say she didn't order the collector's edition because she has an addiction problem. But you could basically tell it, like, ask me, Blake, and Ross to go pre-order it. So, we kind of help out. And then that tier 5 thing comes out, right? And a couple days, that 4-day span right before that everybody gets to play it, Blake, Ross, and I could just go in and change our pre-orders to something else. It's I'm not understanding the point of. I get that they're trying to get a lot of pre-orders, but to me this is just really stupid, or they're trying to drive people into the collector's edition, which may I ask? I mean, I guess I could go to Amazon, but how much is the collector's edition?
No, I don't even know. I just pre-ordered it and moved on.
Carrie?
It's
So,
either 120 or 150. Because I know because I won't go above the 150 because there's 2 collector's editions for Halo.
Mhm.
There's one that's 150 and one that's 250. And I could not bring myself to do the 251 because I think the difference is that the 251 has a super nice figure,
Mhm.
and I just couldn't do it.
That's a console at that point.
Yeah,
I mean,
because if it came down to 250 for a Supreme Halo 5 Collector's Edition, or was it 240 for the new Hyrule Edition, new 3DS plus the Triforce Heroes game, I'm going to go with the handheld
yeah,
because at least with that, I'll be able to do more with it.
yeah. Other than look at some nice, pretty statue.
That's
So,
just going to gather dust. I mean, I love my figures, I really do, but what do you do with them? I put them on my shelf and looking at my Funko Pops that I have over here, and I see like a layer of dust over all of them because that's just what happens when you have figures. They look cool, but they get dusty.
yeah, they're a pain in the ass to dust too.
Oh my gosh,
I
yes.
spend more time dusting my toys than I do dusting my house. Anyway, this is by the way, next week's podcast, we are going to have an intervention with Carrie. If you would like the link, just go ahead and email me. Send me your $100 first. That's the tier 6 of the augmented podcast.
Hey,
Uh,
as I explained to my friend Eric yesterday, because all right, so the Deus Ex collector's edition has a 9 inches of 9-inch tall Adam Jensen figure, and one reader immediately commented, "So Carrie, looking forward to all 9 inches of Adam Jensen." I'm like, "Damn, well played, sir, well played." So, but then yesterday I also pre-ordered the collector's edition for Uncharted 4, which has a 12-inch statue of Drake. So as I texted a friend, I was like, so I'm ready for all 9 inches of Jensen and all 12 inches of Drake. But note how I did not pre-order the Tomb Raider collection because I don't want 6 inches of Lara Croft because I don't swing that way.
Suddenly, I want 12 inches of Drake and 6 inches of Laura.
Yeah, the Lara Croft collector's edition just didn't have enough to sway me. I mean, if there was an art book or a soundtrack, I probably would have, but there's not. There's her statue and a copy of her journal from the game, which is I guess kind of cool, and a replica of her necklace. Well, I already have a replica of the necklace because it came with the Tomb Raider Collector's Edition strategy guide from last year. So it just wasn't enough. But anyway,
I'm also noticing this, and we'll get back to the augmented thing here in a second, but I just happen to notice that this also says if you buy the collector's edition, you get the day 1 edition of Deus Ex Mankind Divided. And I started noticing that this is happening a lot more. Forza Horizon 2 had a day 1 release edition or whatever. What? This is not like the Xbox One where you had doesn't that say day 1 or launch edition or whatever it is on the controller?
Can you see it?
Hang on.
Day 1.
Oh, yeah.
There.
So, I mean, what is this? I mean, what is the deal with the day 1? This is just saying, yeah, I bought the game day 1, and then I had to pay for all the DLC because I wasn't smart enough to just wait until the Game of the Year edition came out, 6 months later. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, back on point.
And the weird thing is like they didn't even go over what the day 1 edition exactly has.
Yeah, I know that if you bought Forza day 1, you just got to spend a lot of money buying all the DLC that came out with it. So
unless the day 1 edition, I mean, that includes the tier 1 pre-order, but that's part of collector's edition. I don't know. Maybe it's fancy on the disc or something, and it says day 1. I don't know. That was really weird reading that in the press release.
So,
but I am a pre-order person. I am. And that's mainly because I don't have time to go shopping. I don't have time to go to stores because I choose not to. I don't like I'm not a person who likes to go out and go hit the stores and go talk to people and look for deals. I like going to Amazon, and when I know I'm going to buy a game, whether it's for review purposes or because I just know that I want to play it, I will pre-order it because I just don't want to deal with it. And I will pre-order it from Amazon because thanks to being a Prime member and because of where I live, I'm able to get pre-ordered games on day one of release. So I don't even have to wait. So it's like, why go to the store when it magically arrives at my doorstep by 6 p.m.? Which is that's the earliest I'll be able to play a game anyway. So it doesn't. Yes, I am a big pre-order, and I know that people. The thing to say is that people who pre-order are part of the problem because we buy these games before we know of the shitty quality, and I understand that, but I also understand that developers need those pre-orders because they need that they need the publishers to get that money so that they can get paid.
Yeah.
And without those pre-orders, then there's no guarantee of a sequel. Doors get closed. The video game business is not a stable industry.
It is very turbulent.
Yeah. And with what was going on with like Batman Arkham Knight with the PC version, how all those pre-orders happened on Steam, and then they ended up getting a broken copy of the game, which at least Steam was like, we will refund you like 100%. We'll give you your money back for all these digital copies. But sometimes people are once again pointing to the pre-order. It's like, well, but they pretty much already gave them the money for this game that is broken. So problem is that we have this culture where, I don't think there's anything wrong with pre-ordering.
No,
but publishers,
we've been pre-ordering stuff for so long.
I know, and publishers, I guess they feel like they have to, or developers, publishers set a date. Developers feel like they have to have that date, and then they push stuff out, and then stuff gets broken, and then people get all upset. Like, Aliens: Colonial Marines, all those people who pre-ordered that game because they were expecting what they saw at E3, and it's. And my whole thing with this, so we already have that against the pre-order culture. I can't believe I just said pre-order culture again. So, and then Square Enix and Eidos Montreal put out this tier 1, and I understand their motivation is to give people more incentives for pre-orders. And at least with this isn't the pre-order incentives that I absolutely hate, which are the retailer exclusive.
Oh God, those incentives. Are so stupid.
Because I will look online, like, okay, what do they have? What do they have? What do they have? What do I want more? And it sucks because if I feel like I'm pre-ordering it, I should be able to get a chance to get all of that. So
yeah, there's Capcom just did that whole stupid shit with Street Fighter V, where if you ordered it from GameStop, you got one costume, and then if you ordered it from Amazon, you got another one, and then if you ordered it, I think off PSN, you got a different one. And I was actually reading through the comments, and the biggest thing is a lot of people were like, I really wish I would have known this before I pre-ordered my game because you're giving me a costume for a character I don't even play. And that's where I start. I'm like, yeah, this is stupid, right? Like this whole retailer specific thing. Now you're forcing, and yeah, sometimes it shows up as DLC later on, or as a free thing that happens.
Or it's a skin on a weapon that, like Amazon, like they'll usually do. Like if I see that the retailer exclusives are like weapon skins or whatever, I'm like, okay, I really don't care because I don't really play multiplayer, so I don't care about the weapon skins. Or if it's this certain extra weapon that you wouldn't normally have, okay, whatevs. I don't care. What gets me is when it's the physical things, which they haven't done in a long time. But like I remember when there was the pre-ordering my Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance Collector's Edition. There was actually 3 different collector's editions because depending on where you bought it retail. And as a Kingdom Hearts fan, that drove me insane. It was like, do I want the art book? Do I want the sticker collection? Which the answer is no. Or do I want the soundtrack? When I had to pick between the art book and the soundtrack, and if anybody knows me, you know that was Sophie's choice right there. So I remember my other super hardcore Kingdom Hearts friend. She and I were texting each other back and forth about how angry we were that we had to choose this. We're Kingdom Hearts fans. We just give it all. So I mean, at least like I can at least say about this that with these tiers is that there's two things that it's going for. One, it's not retailer exclusive. Mm-hmm. Two, they're letting you pick like for example on the tier 2, you can pick either a digital art book or a digital OST sampler, which sucks for me because I'm going to want those both. But considering I get the collector's edition, I get the physical art book, so I will pick the digital OST. Mm-hmm. Unless the collector's edition people get them both anyway, which would be kind of funny.
My concern about that one is that it's a OST sampler, so it's like six tracks.
Yeah, it's probably it says that, right? Just 6 tracks. So I would be buying the full one anyway. But at least like they're offering some of them some options. So like if they had eventually like if they had skin packs, like let's say like Mortal Kombat, they did something like this. They'd be like, you could pick this pack, or this pack. That would be kind of neat. Trying to make this like as nice as possible, and that like if you were really into Aaron Black, you could get this one, but if they had a Sonya pack, I wouldn't have to have Aaron Black. I could get the Sonya pack or the things like that. That's where I could see it. At least this, they're trying to make it a little more amenable to people. But at the same time, I can't help but think that what they're doing is that they're just dangling that carrot.
Yeah.
Look at all this stuff. We want to give it to you. Bye.
And to do this, I mean, I'm sure that you could convince friends to, because it's like $5, right? You just go into GameStop, throw out $5. And so now you've got this pre-order. And then 4 days after, if, let's say they actually get to the tier 5 or whatever it is, so that way everybody gets to play 4 days early that pre-ordered the game. So at that point, I just go in and change my pre-order, right? You got
to do it 5 days early. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to unlock the game at 4 days. So I go into GameStop. I'm like, yep, I'm going to change my pre-order. Mm-hmm. So it
makes me wonder for this if they're going to require the full payment for this. Although with Amazon, they don't charge until it ships. So I don't know how they could. And I don't know. It's like I didn't even think about what you're saying about people canceling stuff. Even though I have done it, like when I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I had already pre-ordered a copy of Assassin's Creed 3, and I got San Diego Comic-Con, and they're like, "But if you pre-order it here using Best Buy, then you get a shirt." Well, I wanted that shirt, so I went there and I pre-ordered it through Best Buy, and then got home and canceled the pre-order.
See this.
I wanted the shirt.
This is why you don't give pre-order bonuses, because people just milk it. There's nothing. It's the company's invested in all that money, right? And then they're just like, you got to pre-order it. Well, okay, so I'm gonna pre-order. I'm gonna get your little goodie, and then I'm gonna cancel that pre-order. I'm gonna change the pre-order to something that I really want.
And I guess the other problem is that people are they're getting upset about day one DLC. It's like, okay, so you've already created this stuff, and now you're going to charge us more. So they're also looking at the pre-order stuff. Like, okay, you've already made this. Why can't you give it to everyone? Why do we have to pre-order to get it? Even though I understand the idea behind pre-order incentives, I really do, because they want people to get excited and want people to buy their game ahead of time, because again, that's how they get the monies. But it just, there's a lot of bad blood with all that, the extra stuff that doesn't automatically come on the disc.
To me, the nice thing about pre-order is the preloading, right? So if I pre-order the game, I can preload the game, so that way as soon as the game comes out, I get a small patch that unlocks the game and I can play it. So Steam's been doing that, and usually that starts happening about a week before the game releases.
And Xbox One does it too, but not PS4.
So, to me, the only, if you're going to give a pre-order bonus, to me, the only thing that I think would be worthwhile is to allow people to play the game early. Give them a
kind of like which is what EA's early. Not, I think it is. I don't think it's technically called the the early access program, but it's pretty much like with their EA subscription. I think you can get games 5 days early if you pre-order them. If you're a
EA
I don't even remember. Yeah, subscriber where you get like their entire library or something. I don't even remember how it all works.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, to me, that makes more sense than here's a little goodie or like this. Here's a bunch of tier stuff. I mean, I understand that you're trying to drum up some sort of interest, but at the same point, you're not doing anybody any favors, especially if you're doing physical goods, because that you have to spend the money to make that physical good, only to have people, they're going to get the physical good and then they're going to cancel it. They're never going to get you're never going to get their money. So you've wasted that kind of money. Where if you just let people, and I understand a lot of people want to do the physical thing, like are still physical disc based. I still much prefer to have physical copies just in case, there's always that whole what happens if the servers go down or whatever. So to them, they're going to be kind of screwed out of the pre-order incentive of like, the game unlocks 5 days earlier or whatever. Maybe they get their, I can't even say that, because if you ship them their physical game early, then all of a sudden they can start lending it out to friends, and I don't know.
Yeah. I don't have an answer for this. I just don't think that this tier system is the way. Now I'm not a fan of it, but now I'm not as harsh as some other writers who have been, where they've basically have said that this, shits on fans. I don't believe that at all, because I believe if you are a hardcore fan, you're most likely going to get the collector's edition anyway, and you're going to pre-order that because collector's editions are limited and they do run out. The Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition says hi. I totally ran out what I was going to say with that, but I think this might be an experiment on Square Enix's behalf to see, because they're not doing it with everything. They're not doing it with Tomb Raider. They're not doing it with Just Cause 3. Of course, this also could be Eidos Montreal, not Square Enix's thing. But I'm hoping this is just an experiment, and I don't really want this experiment to succeed. But that's going to depend on the gamers, And if my collector's edition pre-order counts towards that, well, then I am, definitely part of the problem then. But I know other people who have pre-ordered the collector's editions because they want the collector's edition.
Right.
They want that statue. They want all those other things that are there. Now, if there was no collector's edition, I most likely would not be part of this pre-order, and that's mainly because I am a huge Deus Ex fan, but this is one game I don't have to play on day one unless I'm reviewing the strategy guide, and I don't know at this point if there's going to be a strategy guide. That'd be the only way I'd pre-order is if I knew there's a strategy guide, because I know I'm not reviewing it for work. And this is... Go on.
Go ahead. The other thing that I've noticed is that they don't tell you how many pre-orders have to be in place in order to unlock certain tiers, right? So
no.
We may
It could be thousands. It could be hundreds. It could be 10.
Yeah, so tier 5 may never happen regardless of how many pre-orders come in, because they've not
tier
said
5
anything.
Tier 5 could be 4 million pre-orders.
Yeah.
Since that's what Square Enix has set the bar, like what a successful sale is, because Tomb Raider, no, actually 4 million is not successful, because didn't Tomb Raider sell 4 million, or Tomb Raider sold 2 million? I don't remember. They sold something like that, 2 or 4 million, and said it was not successful. So the pre-orders, I wouldn't be surprised if tier 5 was in the millions.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That everybody gets tier 1 because it says unlocked for everybody on August 31st, but you may never see tier 2. It could.
No, it's very possible. And it's not like So, I'm looking at the little infographic they made, and all it says is 25%, 50%, 75. That helps nothing. And there's not even like a site where they have like, the thermometer.
Yeah. This is how close you are to getting here too.
Which even that would be interesting just to see. Like, even if they don't have the actual numbers, just to see like, where are we going with this? But I don't know. The press
Tailor to the game
has not. Yeah, the press has not approached this kindly.
I'll imagine that.
Right, and so I'm hoping maybe that has made them take a few steps back, but they haven't made a comment because they're probably also waiting to see what comes in with the consumers. Now, if they don't get very many pre-orders, they might think maybe this wasn't a good idea. Maybe this has pissed off some people. I don't know. Oh man, Tier 3 includes an extra in-game mission? That's bullshit. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, you're never going to... Well, you got the Collector's Edition, so don't worry about it. You got it.
I know, okay, but that's bullshit.
I know.
Because at least like with Mass Effect 3, when you pre-ordered, you did get some day one DLC, but they offered that later. And there's a lot of people that were mad about that because you could only get that on day one if you had pre-ordered the game. But to me, like that doesn't. But the mission wasn't totally necessary for the game. It was like a little fan extra type thing. So, but I know people were very mad about that they had to wait because they did not pre-order, and that stuff to me doesn't bother me. Putting it on this tier thing, that bothers me.
Yeah.
Yes, I get it with my collector's edition. I get that, but I understand that they'll give stuff like that in collector's editions. This, once again, is holding out that carrot.
Yeah.
And what about the diehard fan who maybe can't afford the collector's edition and does pre-order this and is sitting there going, oh my gosh, now I have to sit here and wait and wonder.
Yep.
Am I going to get this? Or do I have to pay more for it later? Which sucks.
Yeah. And oh, what the hell were they thinking? I don't think they were thinking. I think somebody said, let's just do this.
They
and
were.
Some exec was like, oh, this is brilliant. We can get more money. We can force people into the collector's edition.
I don't think there was any malicious intent on this whatsoever. I think they were trying to think of a creative way to get more pre-orders in. And so they thought of this system. This is like so many other things that I think some marketing companies do. Like, I don't remember who was that. Something was presented and the backlash was awful. And they were like, oh, holy crap, we did not see that coming. I don't remember when that was. It's like last year or what it even was for. But they were just shocked. Like that was not what we expected. And it was like, okay, now we see where you guys are coming from. But I can see how in meetings they propose this and everyone gets so excited and they don't always have somebody else coming in like a devil's advocate and thinking, which is another reason why maybe you should get like a focus group, bring some people in, throw out this idea, see what they have to say, and get like a real focus group. Don't just go pick 10 people off the street. Get like, and don't go get like 10 diehard Deus Ex fans who will throw money at a screen. Go get like gamers and just don't even say what the game is for. Just talk about the system. This is what we want to do for pre-orders. What do you think? And then, I don't know. And, maybe, millions of people will pre-order this now and everyone will get everything and we'll just keep perpetuating this type of idea. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my concern is that another company is currently watching this to see how well this works. And then they're like, okay, we're going to do it for our game. It just, yeah. I mean, when I pre-order something, it's because I know I'm going to buy the game. And the collector's edition, usually I do collector's editions for games that I really enjoy, like Mortal Kombat. I will probably do the Street Fighter V one because I really want the Ryu statue. Otherwise, I ordered just a standard edition. I've done that a lot. And like Mad Max, I really liked what I saw of Mad Max before it came out. But then I was like, I don't know because this is another game based off of a movie and those tend to not do so well. And so I was like, I'm not going to pre-order this one. I'm just going to wait, see what the reviews are. This is not one of those things that I have to have day one. And the reviews are so all over the board. Some people love the game, some people hate it. I've been watching some streams of it because that's what I do on games that I'm unsure about. And to me, this is not a $60 game. This will be something that I snag when it's like on a Steam sale and it goes for $40 or something. But I do pre-order things. I have no problem pre-ordering things. I understand that games when they come out can sometimes be broken. This is kind of why I wish every developer would follow the whole Blizzard line of thought, which is it's done when it's done, or do more along the lines of
CD Projekt Red,
yeah,
Valve.
and
they're all like, yeah, it's done, it's done.
Or take the higher road, like some developers are starting to finally come to the point of realizing, and delay your game. I would rather you delay the game and I have to wait another 3 months to play the game that I'm really looking forward to, but be able to play that game and not have it be busted. And you know what? A delay, the negativity that comes with a delay is much lighter than the negativity that comes at you from press and fans when you release a broken game. Looking at you, Batman, on PC. I mean, if you look at how much negativity and how bad that press was for Batman on the PC, and how much damage that did to them, and what that caused. Where if they would have just delayed it on the PC a couple of months, yeah, so the console people get it first. Whoop-de shit. Don't release a broken game. Just delay it. People are gonna. I mean, they're gonna. I mean, we're in this whole society of like, I want it now, I get it now thing, but people need to understand. Just let it go. Developers are, they're humans. You can't expect them to just code 24/7 to get you a fucking game. So, I mean, even if when I pre-order Street Fighter V, that gets delayed. Let's say it gets delayed 6 months. I'm fine with that as long as when I go to play it, I can play it. I can jump online and not have online connectivity issues. I don't have, screen lag. I don't have button lag. I don't have input lag. There's no graphical glitches. I'm fine with it being delayed. And I will still, and I will keep my pre-order even if you delay it a year. I don't care. I'd rather have a good game than you just shoving something out and then I have to wait for patches, because if I have to wait for patches, you might as well just delay the fucking game.
Right. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, at least even Ubisoft has learned that with Assassin's Creed, because they've announced their PC version is going to be delayed about almost a month after the console version, because they know that their PC people need extra time to make it as good of quality.
Right.
And what was the other game that was? Oh, XCOM 2 was just announced that it's been
Pushed
delayed.
2016 or 2016, right?
Yeah. And like, my boss is like, oh my God, no. But I was like, but don't you rather it be pushed and be perfect than, come out and you need to wait 6 months for patches to make it? I mean, because I have a game that was broken upon release. It was called Assassin's Creed 3. And it took them 2 months to get the patches out, to get it fixed. And by the time it came out, I said, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm no longer interested in this game. And I know other people will feel that way. They'd much rather wait that 6 months, 3 to 6 months to get everything perfect. So, I mean, it kind of worries me that, EA's like, oh, we were not going to have to delay Star Wars Battlefront. It's fine. Like, we will if we have to, but we're not going to have to. But at least they're going to do a beta. Thank God they're going to do a beta, because the battles are 40 on 40.
Yeah. You got. Testing your server loads and how well that works out.
Yeah.
Which is great. Which is what I'm loving about Capcom, is at least now and yet it's limited characters, but at least they're pushing out Street Fighter V to everybody that's pre-ordered it. Again, This is a good bonus, right? This is a great bonus. If you pre-order Street Fighter V, you get to take place in all the stress tests. So you get the game, you get to play on their free weekends while they're doing stress. Yes, it's a stress test. Let's not forget this. This is a beta. They're testing it.
It's a test.
All right.
People forget that these things are tests.
And there's been a couple other games too. There's been a lot of games actually that have done the whole, If you pre-order it, you get to take part in the betas. And to me, that's great because even though
Call of Duty does that.
I mean, yeah, you could say you're paying to you're paying to help them develop their game, but at the same point, you get the game at the end, anyways. The biggest thing is that during beta, you get to give your feedback. You get to help tell them what it is that you liked or didn't like. You get to tell them, hey, look, I live out in the middle of nowhere and my connectivity is shit. What do we need to do to get this net code a little bit better?
Mm-hmm.
It just that's a good pre-order incentive. And I've been watching people do the streams of Street Fighter V, and it's gotten me hyped. I mean, that's the other thing, right? Twitch is becoming such an integral part. YouTube is becoming such an integral part now in how people get information on their games and start to make decisions like me if they're going to buy a game. So, like your people that are beta testing it, they're going to, I know to me it sounds terrible too, but you let people do your advertising for you. If they pre-ordered it, you let them play the game during betas. They're streaming it. All of a sudden, you're drumming up some more hype for your game, from the people that are really interested in it, and you get a couple more pre-orders out of it because people now want to play. People watching YouTube stream or YouTube videos are like, "Oh, I totally want to try this out. I'm gonna try it." So then they go out and they pre-order it. It just this tier thing. This tier thing is just all kinds of not right. And that all this crap will come out in a DLC or a Game of the Year edition down the road, except for the 4-day early release.
Oh yeah,
you can't release that. But
no.
The soundtrack, you get that. The digital art book that'll eventually come out. The skins, those are definitely going to be DLCs. The extra mission, I am kind of curious as to what that is. As long as it's not integral to the game, it's just some fan service, whatever. People can get over themselves on that one. I don't know.
I think we've beaten that one with the dead horse.
Yeah.
Basically, we're not a fan. We like pre-orders, but we're not a fan of this.
Yeah. Not a fan of the tier thing. Still going to pre-order.
Nope.
Carrie and I will continue to be part of the pre-order problem. If you like to pre-order, just keep being part of the problem. Who cares? It's your money.
I mean, yes, we'll be part of the problem. It doesn't mean that we like a tier system.
Yeah.
There. I think that's a good wrap up. All right. So, what non-tier things have you been playing?
Let's see. Still been playing Destiny. I need to watch the Bungie stream from yesterday. Apparently, the Taken King just got even more badass with their new raid system that they're putting into place. And there's a lot of hype about the swords. Apparently, you can actually use them as weapons, and they're not droppable. So I need to watch this because apparently that stream was pretty damn awesome. Taken King comes out in 2 weeks, and I'm traveling, so I won't even get to try it out. Let's see. Played some more Mega Man Legacy Collection. Beat Mega Man 2. Went back to Mega Man 1. Realized why I didn't ever play Mega Man 1 from start to finish, and started playing Mega Man 3. So I am very much enjoying that. That was like the best $15 I've spent in a while on a game because it just brings back so many memories. So many memories wrapped up in that. Also playing some more Gears of War. Did that for a couple hours, I think Saturday or Sunday. Man, that game, it still holds up. It holds up so well. The story, the moments, the combat, it is still just a solid game. And I actually went on YouTube and looked up some videos from the 360 version, and holy shit. Their remaster is a brilliant remaster because you look at what it looked like, and it's just like,
I told you that I played the beginning on the 360 after I finished the game. So I was like, this always looked this good. I don't know what the big deal is. Like, no, stop. No, okay, turn it off.
I wish they had the same thing like what they had with Halo, where you could just press that button and go back and forth just to see how good or bad. Because that's like my favorite thing to do in Halo is just to go, oh, this looks really pretty. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we thought, but this was awesome back then. Yeah, I know it's not so awesome today. So, yeah, I'm very. It's
really funny because when Drew and I will play Halo, one of us saw someone go, ugh, and then we realized the other person had seen the original, so then another person will check it out. Like, oh, okay. That's crazy. Of course, the funny thing was, so Drew and I finished playing the Halo CE last night. I saw we had 3 missions left. I was like, we can do this tonight. Finished at 12 in the morning. At least it only took us 2 tries to get through the last mission on the stupid Warthog. Dear God. Some of the level design in this game is just awful.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, actually, after we finished it, I said, you know what? I don't want to play this one ever again. Like Halo 2 and Halo 3, I'll take the story of Halo 2 over the level design in Halo CE any day of the week. I don't think, yeah, I'm never playing that again. But anyway, so we were playing, and you know, we are on terminal hunts. So so I pulled out, you know, my original guide for the Halo CE Anniversary Edition, and it has all the terminals are. And so we got to the very last terminal, and where we were it's when you're back in the Pillar of Autumn, and you're getting ready to make it go explodey, so you can destroy the Halo. And the terminal is in one of the control panels. And we get there, and we look at it, and Drew's like, Carrie, look at this, look at this, look at this. And it shows, like, on the wall, it has, because you're in the cryopod management, and it shows, like, who's in the cryopods. And it shows, you know, Master Chief, it actually has Spartan John 117, and it has, you know, that his pod is there, and he's alive and all that. And then next to it, it had all in red, Spartan Linda 058, missing. And he and I were like, oh shit. So he's like, what happened to Linda? I said, don't you remember when she got injured in Reach, and Master Chief dragged her on the Pillar of Autumn and put her in a cryopod so that they could try to fix her, but then they got attacked. So per protocol, Keyes ejected all the cryopods. And so, and Master Chief, it was later on the Longsword, when he's leaving, he finds her and is able to bring her back and save her. And he's like, oh yeah. So we're talking about that. I was like, wow, so they had this on the plan way back then. And then I click the, you know, original. None of that's there. I'm like, oh, that's just disappointing. That just kind of ruined everything.
Oh
well.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you play Halo with Drew and I. It gets super nerdy.
Oh, Carrie.
But you have not been playing Halo, but you've been playing a MOBA, it looks like.
Yeah. I also played some more Heroes of the Storm. I'm enjoying that game. It's a good time. It's a good MOBA.
I have it, actually. I was given a code for it. So
you don't even have to have a code for it anymore. You don't even have to have a code for it anymore. It's totally just
well, you know what I mean. Yeah. So it's one of those that I have. I just haven't done anything with because I'm always doing something else and finding other things to occupy my time.
Well,
right now that I have a... Well, okay. So, the MKX card game, they're bringing in 3 new card challenges. So I'm pumped, like Aaron Black, Cold War Sonya, and another Kenshi. I'm like, I don't care about the Kenshi, but I'm all about trying to get Aaron Black and another Sonya because he hasn't been in the game yet. So that'll be fun. I just like getting the card challenges, and then I get the cards, and like, okay, now what? I'll just go play online for a little bit, smack people around, and move on. And of course, as I already said, Drew and I finished Halo CE. We're going to start Halo 2 next week. I can't wait for that because he has never played Halo 2 before.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, because he said that came out when he was anti Xbox because he played the original Halo on PC, and Halo 2 never went on PC. And he got pissed about that, so he has never played it. And with everything he and I read in the books, his mind is going to be blown because he's read all the books, and then he gets to Halo 2. My mind got blown reading the books, and now I get to watch him get blown because he's already read the books, and then seeing it when he sees how it all unfolded in the game. It's going to be so much fun. And I've also I'm still not playing Destiny, even though I did just get the part of the trade from Blake. I know I'm getting a lot of pressure to play it, but you know, people, the more you pressure me to play Destiny, the less likely I'm going to play it. So just throwing that out there. But I have been playing for review an Xbox One indie game called Blues and Bullets. It's a I never heard of it before. I was, approached by the indie company to review it. I was like, sure. Well, they said it was a alternate history Elliot Ness. I'm like, all right, I'm in. And it's very interesting because it takes place after Elliot Ness, after Capone was sent to prison for tax evasion. So it's obviously after the Prohibition and all that. And he's retired. He owns a diner called Blues and Bullets. And he gets kind of brought back into being a private detective and looking for Al Capone's missing granddaughter. And it kind of gets all brought into this strange occult. It's alternate history set if the Hindenburg never exploded fully. So yeah, so which it seems like, well, that's a really weird thing, but it kind of has set some Al Capone's where he got most of his money from the Hindenburg being successful. So it was, it's kind of interesting. There are some historical things I think they tried. I don't think they fully had the facts to begin with. But in the story, it's an episodic game, and it's one of those things that your choices supposedly matter. We'll see if that happens. It starts off really slow. Like, the best I can say is that the art style is really creative. It's black and white totally, and the only color is red. So, like, the way I'm going to describe it in my review is that if you've ever seen Trash Polka tattoo style, that's kind of what it's like. So that's really, really, really creative. Now, the graphics leave a lot to be desired. They're very 360 looking, very janky. The voice acting is wooden. The story kind of moves slow, but then when it starts to really pick up, it gets super interesting. But like I said, this is the first episode. It took me, I think 2 hours to do the first episode. So, and it actually has some, murder mystery solving elements, which was kind of fun, but it was really kind of easy. So, but it's their first episode, so I'm going to give them kind of all right, let's see where this goes before I, don't recommend trying it. Yeah, if you like episodic, mystery games, then sure, why not? Just don't expect a Telltale, and don't expect a Life is Strange. So, well, that is all that I have been doing.
Well then, Carrie, take us home.
Sure. All right, you can leave us a comment here if there's anything that you would like us to talk about. We were supposed to talk about a topic that one of our readers suggested from a few weeks ago, but then this Augment Your Preorder thing happened, and I just kind of had to talk about it. So, but we definitely will next time. You can also email me at strategyguidereviews@gmail.com with any questions or anything you want us to talk about. You can follow each of us on Twitter. Chris is at Starvin. I am at Crunchy Chocobo, and the site is at Strategy Reviews. And keep on reading SGR. I got a new comic to review. There's a brand new Mirror's Edge comic that releases next week, so I'll be writing about that. And I just sent out to Brad the Metal Gear Solid 5 strategy guide, which looked amazing. Just the cover.
Apparently, he's just sitting at his mailbox waiting for it to arrive.
I saw that. Well, he might be waiting a couple of days. Just sent it out yesterday, so I think it'll be out tomorrow.
Well, hopefully it doesn't rain.
It is Florida, so it might.
Oh, that's right. They had like that tropical storm or whatever go through there too. So.
Yep. All right. Well, with that, we will catch you all next time. The next SGR Coffee Break.
And we're out. Peace.